This is just a short video to show you some of the keys on your calculator that we'll be using a lot. We do want to put answers in engineering notation. We will be seeing engineering notation on schematics and things and problems that we're trying to solve. So the thing I want to show you is getting how to get engineering notation into your calculator and back off your calculator. For starters, it's a good idea to put your calculator into engineering notation mode. So for some of you, you have to know your calculator. That's the first thing. Have a calculator that you know and love, and then just keep getting to know it more and more. For this calculator, engineering notation mode is available as a second function. Do you see ENG there? So if I hit the second function key, I'll do that, and then oops, let's turn this on. Let's do that, and then I'll hit the second function key, and I'll hit engineering. And now you can see I'm in engineering mode, which means all my answers will be displayed as 10 to the third, 10 to the sixth, 10 to the ninth, 12th, etc., or 10 to the negative third, sixth, ninth, and so on. So that that exponent is going to show up here in multiples of 3 for engineering mode. So it automatically puts the digits where they need to be. It puts the decimal point where it needs to be. So that's a handy feature. So have your calculator in engineering mode, saves you having to manually move the decimal point around. Let's solve this problem as an example to show you how to get engineering notation into your calculator. So let's say the scenario is that I have 1.25 kilovolts applied to a circuit, and the current that results is 22 milliamps. So that's the scenario. That voltage and that current are happening. And the question is, what's the resistance of this circuit and what's the conductance of this circuit? So let's solve it. We can see the keystrokes. So we'll just put in our calculator, we'll put in 1.25, and now we're going to use this double E key because that allows me to put in the exponent that goes along with K, kilo, which is 3. So if I put that double E key, up comes my exponent, and I just put in 3 because that's the same as, that's what kilo represents. The lowercase k is 10 to the third. So now I've got that double E key that just lets me put in 3 for my exponent for 10 to the third. Okay. So 1.25 kilovolts is in there, kilovolts. Of course, I have to remember Ohm's law here, right? If you take the voltage divided by the current, that's what's going to give you the resistance. So I have my 1.25 kilovolts in my calculator. I just got to divide it by the current. So I have to put milliamps in there, 22 milliamps. Again, 22, and then to get the milli in there, I have to use my double E key, and it's -3. So I can hit my little negative symbol on this calculator. It's right here, and 3. And just check your display, but that's milli. That's 22 milliamps because it's 22 times 10 to the negative third. One mistake I think students sometimes make is they're in their head, they're saying 22 times 10 to the negative third, and they want to start hitting buttons like times 10 and then put in the -3. Don't do that. The double E key takes care of all that. The double E key is the times 10 taken care of for you. So don't be hitting times 10 or anything crazy like that. Just do the strokes as I've shown them there. Okay, so I got my 1.25 kilovolts in. I hit the dividing button. Then I hit the 22 milli in there. Now I just hit equals, right? And there's my answer for resistance. And can you see what it is? It's 56.8. For a lot of things, 3 significant figures is okay. which would mean I would just grab 5, 6, and 8. I don't need the rest of it. But however many figures you want to take it out to, if we want to do 5 significant figures, we could do that. But a lot of times you'll hear me stipulate that 3 is adequate. Okay, so 56.8, you know, and if we needed to, we could carry on more digits. 56.8, and then what? Is it ohms? I mean, voltage divided by current is ohms, but don't forget you got your little exponent showing up here as a positive 3. So that's times 10 to the positive 3, that's kilo, right? So looks like we've got 56.8 kilo ohms, right? So it's a highly resistive circuit, right? 56.8 kilo ohms, you know, 56,800 ohms, but we don't write it that way. We use the kilo. And your calculator will show you that that kilo is it'll represent it with the appropriate exponent for times 10. So times 10 to the third. Okay. Do I have to do the problem again then to get conductance? And then I have to think how to do that, because really Ohm's law, voltage divided by current, gives me resistance. I could remember that conductance is the inverse of resistance, and I could flip this. Current divided by voltage is conductance, but there's an easier way. The 1 over x key is right here, so use it. 1 over x will give you the inverse of whatever is showing up in your screen. So that's nice. So I just hit the 1 over x key. I mean, I have resistance showing on the screen, 56.8 kilo ohms. If I hit the inverse button, I've got conductance showing on the screen, and the conductance is 17.6 times 10 to the negative 6. That's micro, right? So that would be micro, not ohms, because it's conductance. So micromhos. And there we go. And problem solved. Let's say I have this on my screen and I'm like, rats, I just needed to get a look at that resistance again. I forgot to write it down. Do I have to go back and solve the problem again? No. You can toggle with the 1 over x key all day long. So, I mean, I can just hit the 1 over x key and I'm right back to my resistance. Remember, they're just inverses of each other, resistance and conductance. It's glass half empty, glass half full. So I can toggle all day long. There's my resistance. There's my conductance. There's my resistance. There's my conductance. So the 1 over x key, we'll be using that a lot. It just flips between resistance and conductance nicely. So, okay, that might be it for now. You know, of course, when we do the AC course, I'll be telling you to watch to keep your mode here. We're in degrees, but that's for trig functions later. So those are the main keys. We'll use 1 over x. We'll use this double E key that does the times 10 exponent for you and the engineering mode. All right.